If you're looking to get your credit fixed and trying to get funding in 2026, watch this entire video because I'm going to be breaking down the truth about where credit repair and where funding is at right now in 2026 at the time of recording this video. Right now, if you guys don't know me already, my name is Daniel Dixon Jr. Right, I help small business owners access business funding so they can scale, invest into your business, and get into the next level. All right. Today I'm doing this video outside. It feels so great. I'm gonna change the scenery, but this is gonna be like a raw truth video of like what's actually going on as of July of 2026 when it comes to the credit, when it comes to the funding space. So I understand you came across this video because you want funding. Okay. Now, if you've tried doing it yourself and you didn't see results, this is gonna be for you. Or if you haven't done it yourself yet and you're looking to get funding. Okay. I'm gonna just cover both in one video. I'm gonna make this video short and there's a lot that needs to be disclosed. So me personally, I've been in the credit space. Okay, I've had a credit card company since 2022, and we're going on about 4 years. And I've seen everything as far as the dispute letters, what tactics there are, how the bureaus respond, how we've even went as far as actually suing. So like I've sued a couple credit bureaus myself, so I know what it truly takes to really get results. And the thing is like when it comes to credit and funding, since when I first started, it was a lot easier to get access to funding, strictly because there wasn't that many people on TikTok or IG talking about all these different laws or all the different bureaus or all this different information about, you can try this hack or try this hack. You have to understand that the representatives, attorneys, defense attorneys, okay, and people at these corporations, they are looking at these things and now they're adjusting. When it comes to credit repair, you could have easily used a factual dispute letter back in the day, but nowadays it's like now they're saying use this law, file this method, and it's like they're really have tightening up their strategies, okay? Because you gotta understand when it comes to credit repair, when you're sending out a dispute and you find something wrong on your report, by law, if it is inaccurate, they have to either update it, right, or they have to delete it, okay, or they have to modify it. Like one of those two things: update, modify, or they have to delete it. The thing is, though, is like because we're getting so smart, because there's so much information out there, you have to understand that these companies, they're in business to make money. So if they're making money based off your inaccurate reporting and you send in one dispute and they delete it, they just lost money. That's going to cut from their profits. So they're going to make it a lot more challenging. So if you've been trying to fix your credit and you're a small business owner, let's say if you have like charge-offs or late payments, collections are a lot easier. But if you have those stubborn accounts, it's going to be way harder to get those items deleted because those are the most challenging items to delete. A collection it's a lot easier because you can prove that okay, they didn't have ownership or they didn't have authorization to even collect on this debt, right? But when it comes to a late payment or charge off with the actual bank or credit union or the actual lender, it's going to be way challenging. Okay, because majority of the time when you send in your dispute, they're only going to verify it based on who that account belongs to. They're not really looking at the actual specific fields that you're disputing, right? Their computer systems, right? They send information back to each other to verify your information or to actually read your disputes. Because so many people are trying to fix their credit, right? Because they receive over millions of disputes every month, there's no real human power to look at one specific letter, okay? And because of that, they have machines, they have AI. Now everybody's using Claude, everybody's using ChatGPT, right? The thing about that is like it's only great to a certain level. Like it can automate a lot of things, but there still needs to be knowledge. And a lot of times when you type into Claude or AI or the AI or like chat, it's going to miss a lot of information. And when you send in your dispute, they're not receiving all your information. So if you're a client watching this or if you're trying to fix your credit and you see all these people online talking about, hey, it's gonna take 7 days guaranteed or 30 days guaranteed, that's fucking bullshit. The only reason why, if that truly works, is one, if you file a false police report. So a lot of these people, you can get results very quickly because by law, if you file a police report, they have 4 days to suppress it. It's not even a real deletion. They just have to suppress it, block it, so then they can actually do the reinvestigation. If it comes back that it belongs to you, they're just gonna reinsert it, okay? So that's why if you hear these people talking about it takes 7 days or 30 days to get deletions, guaranteed, I would run of them. I'll run away. Now, we do get deletions from our company, like we use factual disputing. We can get deletions within 24 hours, like 72 hours with collection and stuff. Sometimes even with late payments or charge-offs, but it doesn't always work like that, and we don't guarantee it. So if you're a small business owner, if you have charge-offs and collections in your report, and you want funding in the next 30 days, my God, you are fucked. Like, it can come off soon, depending on which method that's used. Like, there's so many different factual consumer law methods, but if you really want to expect results within 7 to 30 days, you have to understand that it just does not work like that. Like, it may happen or it may not. It may take some time. You may have to go all the way to actually suing these people, which is what I've had to do for some clients. But understand, as a company, I'm like, these people have charge-offs, these people have late payments. And if you're a business owner with recent charge-offs, recent late payments, especially with the top national banks, they're gonna make that challenging to delete. So with my company, I even want to explain this on the video, like people with charge-offs or late payments, like we're not gonna be receptive to accepting you, especially if you're a business owner. I do have a partner that will take care of that, but if you have charge-offs or late payments, and you want funding in 30 days or 60 days, you're gonna have to work with somebody where it could take a longer time. You're gonna have to factually dispute. You can't file a identity theft report, but if they find out that it's actually you, it's just gonna get reinserted, and now you're screwed. So now you have to dispute factually. So it's been a lot these past 4 years trying to dispute with like negative accounts to your profile, because if you have these negative accounts, like I'm telling you, it's gonna be way challenging. And unless you're making 20, 30K a month in revenue already, but you have bad credit, you can still go get funding. We just call this alternative lending, right? We can go revenue-based funding. You can still get funding, but the terms won't be as great, and it's not going to be through a traditional bank. Your repayments might be weekly, right? Or they might be bi-weekly, whatever that it is, and the interest rate will be higher. But if you do have that 20, 30, 40K a month revenue minimum, we can still connect you with lenders that you can still get 6 figures of funding for your business. Now, because we're talking about funding now, let's talk about funding, because funding, a lot of people I see on the internet, they're talking about, oh, go get this no-doc funding, or you can get 0% funding for the next 12 or 18 months of the bank. And back in the day, yes, in 2022, 2023, bro, that shit was going so crazy. Even last year, like, everybody's running the play with Chase, where you can just get the Chase Inc. business, 50K approved with the RM, any RM, and everybody was just smacking that. But you have to understand that because so many people are defaulting, because so many people are putting out false information, the banks are tightening up. And because I am funding in real time, I can tell you that the limits that we are seeing from the banks from last year are not the same from this year. And if you really want to get funding, you're going to have deposits, liquidity. You're going to have to really build your relationship. But it's not just the credit score. And it's not even just the credit profile. Like, yeah, you can have the best comparable limits. You can have 20, 30,000 already shown on the personal credit. But if you don't have the relationship, if you don't have real liquidity or deposits going into that account, getting 0% funding is a lot more challenging. And because majority of people, they can't even show tax returns. They can't show bank statements. You can't show a P&L. You can't show a balance sheet. So everybody relies on the 0% funding, which there's nothing wrong with that. But expecting to get 200, 300, 400,000 at 0%, and you have no liquidity or no deposits and no relationships, yeah, it's a lot more challenging. Now, the people that are getting still the high limits, okay, the 75, 80K limits, 0% funding from like Chase or these other banks, you have to understand that these people are doing that because they've built a relationship and they have real deposits and cash flow going to those accounts, and they personally know their bankers. Okay, they're not going to get any type of pushback or anything because they can see the account. So if you're watching this video and I understand it's a small business owner, a lot of the times we can't show these tax returns. We can't show the bank statements where we went to high limit funding. It can still be done, but it's going to be a lot more challenging. You're going to have to wait a lot much longer. It's not as easy as just throwing 5K into a bank account, letting it sit for 30 days and just pulling out some funding. For some banks, yeah, but a lot of these banks, it's a lot more different. They want to see consistent deposits. They want to see weekly deposits. They want to see your average daily balance increasing. They want to see that you have a relationship with that bank. So they want to see this for a more extended period of time. And I can say this from recent applications that we have for clients. This stuff is changing in real time, and the data points that you could have used back in the day, even 6 months ago, it's not going to work today. So funding, in the truth, is like, unless you're in the field doing it in real time, I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience what is actually working. And yes, it can still be done. You can still pull out 6 figures 150K and 0% funding. But you have to understand that the game is they want to see deposits, they want to see liquidity, right? The banks are giving you money so that they can give you 0%, but at the same time, it's a transaction, it's an exchange. You're giving the banks money so that they can, use that money inside of your bank account to lend out to other people, and then they can charge interest on that and make more money. So you have to understand that you have to park the money so that they can make money, okay? And then it's the same thing for you, same thing for them. They have to give you money, right? But they want to see that relationship with you first so they can even trust you. 4 years ago, yeah, it's a lot easier to just go to these banks and pull out 50K from every bank at 0%, but it's just not the same, especially if you have no financials. Now, if you have the financials, right, you can show annual revenue, your tax returns, your net income is going on a good amount. You can show bank statements, no non-sufficient funds. Their average daily balance is great. All right, so my camera just out of me, but getting back to what I said, still getting funding from these banks just 4 years ago it's a lot different from what it is today. They want to see consistent deposits. They want to see liquidity, right? They want to see transactions going through it. They want to see, okay, what are the actual expenses that you're actually putting through the account, right? Everything is about relationships. You can have the greatest credit score. You can have the comparable credit. You can pay down the debt. You can have inquiries, but what is happening in real time, because we're funding in real time, I'm telling you, it's really about relationships, and they're really checking to see what's going on. Just the past couple of years, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people defaulted. A lot of people are using the funds of what they shouldn't use it before, and word goes around. Oh, I can do this at this bank, or I got this contract at this bank, and then now it's like there's a lot of more competing, or a lot of things being done in the corporate world. We're small business owners, but it gets into the corporate, and now they're getting flagged for stuff. So then now people are just going through a bunch of stuff with like the banks and stuff. And because of that case, a lot of them are becoming geo restricted, right? There's a period of time where I was talking to like a lot of business relationship bankers at one point, and that was during a time where a lot of them were now geo restricted, meaning, yeah, they can geo restricted, meaning like they can only be in a certain state. But a lot of them now, like they're so geo restricted to the point where like you have to be like within the branch 25 miles. So you can still find banking relationship managers, but the thing is, it's not as easy as it was before, and a lot of them know the game and what's actually happening. So, a small business owner, I know you're watching this, and if you've tried to get in funding before, understand this is what is going to happen. Now, if you're a small business owner that hasn't gotten funding before, it's still possible. You just have to get updated with the games. Like, there's like we were looking at like Apple iPhones, right? I'm looking at my Apple iPhone, like the newest iPhone. Oh shit! What am I? Oh, I just got a client get approved. That's crazy. What was I saying? Oh, the newest iPhone, right? There's an iOS update where it's like iOS, I don't know, like 25, 26, 27 now, and it's just like with lending, like it's on like iOS whatever. So the stuff that you heard about 6 months ago, or hell, even 2 months ago, is always constantly updating because they're keeping track. Okay. At the end of the day, you have to understand that these banks do want to lend out, but they want to lend out on their own terms. So all you have to do is just figure out what terms that they have to do, what terms that they want, and then you continue to keep going and getting to the next level, right? So I just want to make that video because there is a lot of truth going on, and it's not as easy as everybody talking about. Get $250,000 in 30 days. Like, if you don't have if you don't have liquidity, if you don't have those good relationships, right? And if you don't know like what type of, like, if you're only looking for 0%, except we don't just go for the 0% funding. Like, we're gonna go for the business credit cards, we're gonna go for the line of credits, and also, like I said, I do have the funding advisors where if you need revenue-based funding or if you need equipment financing or SBA, I can connect you with my top funding advisor for that instance. Okay, but you just have to understand that pulling 250K in 30 days at 0% is just if you don't have the liquidity, the deposits, the relationship, the credit score, the credit profile, especially your business age. Like, if these lenders, right, we've gotten denied by some lenders because they're like, the business age is too young. Not a lot of lenders are going to say that, but a lot of them are wanting to see more age on your LLC. So if you don't have these things, these people, it's just like people talking about fix your credit in 7 days, guaranteed. It's the same people talking about get 250K in 30 days. It's possible, but if you don't have these things, which they're not disclosing, then it's going to be very challenging. So What I want you to do is, if you guys like this video, go and click the like button. And if you haven't already, go and click the subscribe button below so you get notified whenever I post and you get notified when I'm dropping these gems. Now, at the end of this video, if you're a small business owner, if you want to see how much that you qualify for, how much that you can actually qualify for, and if you're actually looking to get business funding so you can scale and invest your business and take it to the next level, what I want you to do is click the link in the book. Click the link in the pinned descriptions and book a call to speak with me. We'll go over your profile, we'll go over your situation, and give you the exact roadmap that you need to take and what you need to do in order to get access to funding and get to the next level. With that being said, y'all have a good one. Like the video again, click the subscribe button. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.